Rodriguez and Summer, and you can do highlights or whatever. I've been doing it on my computer, and I just printed this out. But you can, what you do is you go through the week. At the beginning of the week, you go to your bat. Can you see that all right?
Yes.
And so I was doing O's. So on Monday, you're going to do this, and this. So on Monday, I have find new people to add my list, add value to people each day, answer emails, email new leads, check in my groups, and then obviously be proof the product works, drink Shakeology, all the bottom stuff is pretty much consistent. And then on Tuesday, so today I went through, and when I did my power hour, I just put a line or an X through all the ones I did today.
Okay, so
and then tomorrow I will do invite people, follow-ups, answer emails and messages. That's pretty much every day. So you can just decide which days you want to do your things and then check them off as you go. So I put up an example of Jessica's and Summer's. I can put them up again if you want.
Where did you put them at, Julie?
Under a thread. I'll do a whole new thing.
Okay.
To do that. But it's basically you're planning for the week ahead instead of every day going down the whole entire list.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you're still gonna do your personal development, work out, drink Shakeology, post on Facebook. Those connect to your online office, stuff like that. Okay, now to get to the bulk of what I'm going to talk about is the gems. So everybody kind of hears about Summer and a bunch of other people talking about, oh, she's an emerald or I'm a sapphire, and you're like, are they talking about ranks? Because I thought diamond or whatever, It's like, what are they talking about? So what it's a personality test, and it's Danny Johnson, and I've read First Steps to Wealth mostly, but she talks a little bit about them there, and it's just the 4 different personality types, and they're sapphire, pearl, emerald, and ruby. So what we did when we went last weekend to the Team Courage weekend cabin in DC, we all did this personality quiz one night, and then the next night we talked all about it. But how many questions are there? There's 40 questions, and I can post this to the group too, so you can see which thing you are. I am a sapphire ruby, which means if you couldn't guess.
I totally could have guessed sapphire, 100%.
So I'll go over, and I had Ian take this test this weekend, and he's an emerald ruby. So
yeah, Greg's an emerald.
Yeah. I think it's most a guy thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
so I'll go through a little bit about each gem. And I asked Tara and Heather for their notes, so I got some notes from them because I'm a sapphire. I only took like 5 notes on each thing. So what we did is we just divided your paper, and if you're typing, just type. But we just divided it in 4 sections. So it was sapphire, pearl, emerald, ruby. But when we sat down in groups and we said, all right, all the emeralds sit over here, we did it in a square. So sapphires and emeralds are like opposites, and so are pearl and rubies. So she had us all, like all the emeralds were here, all the sapphires were here, and then we got together at the end. So sapphires. They are the life of the party. They love to dance. They love fun and bling. Now, not all of everything will always apply to you. So they're very trendy. They like to stand out. They wear colorful clothes. They're impulsive. They're risk takers, rule breakers. They're very optimistic. They might set their watches 15 minutes ahead, but they're so late for the event. They like recognition and encouragement. They're disorganized, but a lot of their things are like they're party planners or their jobs change a lot. They love people and relationships. And they're like, trust me, girl, it works. And they're like, okay. So that's a little bit about the Sapphire. And what I can do is I can type all this up and post it as well. Oh. Right now it's just in my notes. That way you guys don't all have to like type everything out. Okay, and then we're going to move over to Pearl. And the Pearl, they just love people. And Danny Johnson calls them like the Sapphire Light, like a Bud Light, you know. So they love people and they're loyal and they always want to lend a helping hand. And you can always count on them because they're so dependable. They don't really like confrontation. They usually have like a memory blocks and they're very organic. They can be, but this can be bad because they can be enablers and always giving money to friends and family, and that can hurt them because they're getting taken advantage of. But they can be your best friend for life, and they enjoy soft music, and they just love helping people.
I love your voice for this one, Julie.
Seriously.
So I'll go over some stuff on the end about like post and what we did at the end. So then the Emerald, they are the kind of like nerdy people. They're very structured. They like all the facts. They're very practical. They kind of are boring colors in their wardrobe. They're very precise, accurate. They might have multiple degrees and they love to learn and research. They might have the same schedule every day and they have the same breakfast for years and years and years. They just have a routine. They like instructions. Their clothes might be old, but in good quality. They're very reserved. They speak in a rhythm. They don't waste their time or money. They're very diligent and persistent. They ask a lot of questions. And they're very organized and orderly and on time. And sometimes it can be hard to communicate with them if you're a Sapphire or something, because you're like, hey, join my group, let's have fun. And they're like, well, how much does it cost? And what do I get from my group? And what do I have to do? You know, what does that mean? It's that kind of stuff. So sometimes it can be hard to invite someone like that. Next group is a Ruby. And these people are motivated by a challenge and money. So they're not necessarily your team players. They like the best of the best. They have expensive taste. They'll sleep when they need to, or they skip meals because they're busy working. They don't know how to quit or lose, and they're born to win and overconfident. They might wear dark clothes and have fine jewelry. And one of the things she said was that this can be a bad thing because they'll shoot for the stars, and then when they don't get it, they're just like so disappointed, or they're only aim so high because they know they can meet that expectation. So they won't aim too high. So that is just a little bit of my notes. And so I'll go back to what we said. So then after we were all in our square of Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby, Pearl, we broke up into one gem for each 4-people group. So, and we discussed on what we might like as a post. So as a Sapphire, I said, I don't want to be seeing a long post. If it says read more, I'm probably going to skip you because I don't want to read more and have to go to a new page. You know, I want to see a picture. It could be, you know, before and after. It can be like, oh, let's have fun, or a motivational quote, something like that, something that catches my attention. That's short and sweet. Join me, let's have fun. You know, my challenge is going to be so awesome. Check out this girl. She lost 20 pounds in the last 2 months. You know, that kind of stuff. A Pearl, they are the helpers. So they're going to they're going to want something to let them know what they need to commit to. They want to know that we're going to help them and we're going to be there every step of the way with you. And I'm going to let you know that I'm here for you anytime. And our group is in the same boat. Everybody's starting at the same point. And let's work together on your journey. That kind of thing. Okay? The Emerald. Now, they're very da-da-da-da-da. So they want the price, what you get for your price, and facts of the challenge. So, not a lot of times we don't want to put the price in there, or sometimes if it's the special, like, P90X3, T25, we're going to say, all right, I've got this awesome group, and here's the special. You're going to save this much money, and you're going to get my group and my meal plan. You're going to want all that stuff in your post. The Oreo cookie. And for a Ruby, they're the ones that are motivated by a challenge. So they want what's the value and what's in it for me. And you might want to say stuff about mini competitions, or, how we place the 1 minute push-up challenge or something like that. So they're going to say, hey, come on, join my challenge to be awesome. We're going to have a prize at the end of 30 days if you post a lot. So you got to post all your stuff, and it's going to be awesome. And you are going to get me as your coach and this and this and that. And it's going to be so much awesomeness for this prize, and you're also going to lose a lot of weight and get fit. So that's pretty much all I have as far as what we did. Let me make sure I don't have anything back here. Yeah, that's all I have on that. So I can post the personality test. What I'll do is I'll write up my notes tomorrow so you guys can see that. Does anybody have any questions? I know I kind of went fast.
That's all right. So basically, it's important to vary up our posts to hit all the different personality types.
Yeah. And Jessica Rodriguez was saying how when she has someone that wants to join a group, I don't know if it was a coach or a group, but she has like a Google Doc that she'll send them to. And basically it's a mini personality test, and it just says like what motivates you and a couple questions. I can post that as well. Let me write that down.
Cool.
Jessica's.
Kind of give you an idea of what you're working with.
Yeah, so she knows, because she's done a bunch of Danny Johnson trainings, so she knows that, you are trying to talk to an Emerald, and you're like, okay, I get it. They're asking a lot of questions. They want to know the price and the facts. All right, they're an Emerald. So I'm going to kind of lower my Sapphire and hone in on this Emerald and like relax and give them what they want in a calm way, so you kind of know who you're dealing with. So you kind of assess everyone that you're trying to, that's all about forming too. You're kind of, as you're forming them, you want to kind of get what their gem is so that you can, when you do the invite, you can tailor it to that personality.
Very cool. So April, what are you?
I am a Pearl Emerald.
I could have guessed Pearl.
So one of the things she did, she's like, Summer was like, all right, so we wouldn't go up to April and say, April, you got to join my group. It's really fun. It's going to be a challenge, and we're going to have prizes. All these girls are going to be in it. No, I'm not going to say that. They're loud.
What was that? Someone have an airplane flying over?
You would say, oh my gosh, April, my group is so great, and you're going to want to join because we're really going to help each other, and you're going to help so many people by joining this challenge, and I just know how wonderful you're going to be at it. It's just the funny way that you do it. So I've kind of like started doing that, but I'm not like really there yet with assessing everybody,
Yeah.
But it was really fun to do that in a big group and get to know people that way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I made Greg take it. I took it like before we moved, and then on our way to Texas, it was like 1 a.m. and he's fallen asleep. So I was like, all right, let's take this personality test. So I gave it to him in the car. And it's just been funny because, I mean, you know, knowing those characteristics, and him and I are opposites.
Yeah. She said a lot of times the opposite will attract because you kind of bring each other to, you know, a different level. And it's funny because like Mary Beth Brueggemann, she was Emerald. She's like, but I want to have fun. I just don't really know how, but I want to do it.
So, Kristen, what are you?
I am a sapphire, but very close ruby. Both of those were very close for me. So, and Greg was like,
And what was Greg?
so strong emerald.
Yeah, Ian was like, and I think it also has to do with being in the military is a lot
And
with the
Mary
emeralds.
too, because she was military, you know.
But yeah, he had 18 versus my 6 for emerald.
That's like Greg. Greg was like 19 or something.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, I pretty much knew what you were,
Yeah.
but it was just fun to see that.
Well, it's been fun because now I can blame, like, you know, when the house isn't very clean or I forget things. It's just because I'm a sapphire. I can't help
Yeah, exactly.
it. Sorry.
And now you guys can understand when everybody's like, oh, it's my sapphire, or oh, that emerald, or whatever. They're not talking about ranks. They're talking about these different personalities.
Yeah. Well, thank
And
you.
I thought I was an emerald. I thought I was a sapphire pearl, like before I took this test.
Uh-huh.
But because I like winning prizes and stuff like that, my second is a ruby.
Yeah. Kara, what are you? And Heather?
Oh, how come I don't have a picture?
I'm a pearl emerald.
Heather, you are? Pearl Emerald?
Yeah, pearl emerald.
I don't know if can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if my microphone worked. I am a very, very strong sapphire and then a pearl. And I only had like 2 emeralds. I'm the most disorganized person you will ever meet in your life. But it was cool because
You're so good at the challenge groups and the post.
I like forced myself to do that. It was cool because when she had us sit in the square like that, the way that like the people that you were sitting next to, those are typically like the corner that you overlap with. So like sapphire falls in between pearl and you're gonna have to chill. Sapphire falls between a pearl and a ruby, and usually that's where their personalities fall. It's very rare to find like a sapphire emerald. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Huh. Huh, that's very interesting. Well, does anybody have any questions? That was fun. Meeting there. Well, I hear Stacy laughing over there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Andy told me to tell you guys that I'm a tiger's eye because I don't know who I am.
I want Andy to take the person.
This week, I'll post the test, and then you guys can both take it and see what you are.
Yeah, that's really
He's
fun.
like, here, Kristen's like, do you have any questions? And he's like, can you please repeat the last 30 minutes? I'm sorry. No more outbursts, I swear.
I recorded it, so he can watch it again.
Okay.
Hey, I was going to show, if anybody wants to check this out real quick, because Stacy and I were talking about this week, just some things in the back office to help y'all with. I'm going to do a share screen so you can see my back office.